This last-minute cramming is just not working for me.
Well, yeah, I guess I should have started studying for these finals a few weeks ago, Jen.
Well, that would have been a good idea. Hello, welcome to this week's edition of Eye of the Storm. I'm your host, Jennifer Payne.
And I'm Janine Lynn Kelly. Tonight we have in store for you a profile of Sister Margaret John Kelly, Special Assistant to Father Harrington, President of SJU.
Also, our camera went to the Yes Clinic, where many of St. John's top athletes interacted with the youth of the community. And our own George Pasanzi had the opportunity to speak with the new SJU basketball coach, Fran Fischilla.
First up, our Campus Buzz reporters went all over SJU asking the student body, what was the worst final you ever took?
So what was yours, Janine?
Well, watch Campus Buzz and maybe you'll find out.
The hardest final I ever took was accounting.
Final in the summer of '93.
Philosophy. That's because it's really hard and I don't understand it.
Computer science because I wasn't quite good at it and it drove me crazy. Philosophy because it was so abstract. I mean, didn't have anything to do with reality. It was just all ideas in your head.
Math final because I wasn't very good at math. Although my son is a math major, figure that out.
I'm in pharmacy, so every final I ever took was hard, so I wouldn't even be able to single it out.
It would be math.
All these numbers, all these formulas. I swear, it was horrible.
It was my organic chemistry final.
Math.
But now it's like a piece of cake. Doing a snapple and adding up numbers is a lot more quicker and easier.
Numbers don't mean anything. That's why. You can use English, you can use social studies, but you can't use math. Doesn't mean anything. Has no purpose. They're all easy.
A 1-hour oral defense between 3 professors and an external professor of my degree in theology. And that was excruciatingly painful and challenging.
Well, that's because I didn't read the book.
Psychology was the hardest final that I ever took because there's so many different aspects of psychology. There was a lot to learn in just one semester.
Calculus, because Calculus 13, it's impossible.
Chemistry final because it wasn't, I don't think it was straightforward.
It was hard. Even though it was multiple choice, it was hard. And you can ask anybody who ever had chemistry.
And you feel like a jerk when you mess it up.
I passed though.
Good evening and welcome to the SJU News. I'm Mark Evans. St. John's University has suspended the sorority Sigma Chi Zeta for charges of hazing. Although the sorority denies these allegations, 4 pledges said that hazing did occur over a 5-week period. According to Frank Savino, Assistant Dean of Student Life, the sorority has been suspended pending the matter being resolved. While under suspension, the sorority cannot hold any functions, organize, or participate in any campus events. College Europa Hungary is offering another opportunity to spend 2 weeks in Europe and learn how the other side lives. This offer is open to all SJU students for 3 free elective course credits. The program lasts from May 11th to May 25th. The approximate cost is $2,500, including airfare, hotel, food, and tuition. For further information, contact Dean Joyce Lawler or Professor Susan Glantz in Bent Hall Room 438. Still to come in the SJU News, Pharmacy Congress, and the Chapel Players.
Did you study the philosophical theories between Willard Quine and Aristotle?
We had to know Quine?
Oops, sorry. Well, our own SJU athletes know a lot about their respected sports and shared their knowledge with kids from New York City.
And after that, the spotlight shines on Connie Che, a member of the SJU women's volleyball team.
Not to mention Josephine Guzzo's interview with Sister Margaret John Kelly.
Do you think that she can get us out of taking these tests?
I don't think so.
St. John's recently hosted the Yes Clinic, where a variety of college players and coaches taught children about the basics of basketball and physical fitness. The young players were taken through a variety of drills and activities, sharpening their skills.
They're not looking at other things. They just want to learn to be the best they can be in this sport. And it's easy to teach them too.
Yes clinics are free and are conducted at several different NCAA championships each year. In addition to showing the kids athletics, coaches and players provide guidance to the open-eared youngsters, teaching them about the basics of life and good sportsmanship as well. Former Syracuse quarterback Don McPherson spoke to the children about life skills.
And one that's really, really important that you need as an athlete and as a student is focus.
We're talking about sportsmanship in here, and in terms of life skills, we're really trying to get the youngsters to start thinking about the game in other ways more than just putting the ball in the hoop. We want them to think about the respect that they should have for the game itself, for the other players, and really for themselves when they're out in the court.
What do you enjoy most about working with these kids?
I think that some of the candor, the honesty that you get from them. They have a lot of energy. They're excited to be here today, and they're having a lot of fun. This is kind of a downtime. They have to sit in chairs and really start thinking about some different issues other than playing the game. So it's fun to kind of harness that energy and get them thinking about some positive things.
Jennifer Bowman went over a fair play agreement with the group.
Show appreciation for good players and good plays, even the opponents, okay? Does that make sense? So after the game, if there's just a great player out there, you go over and you say, it was a good job, you played a good game, you're a good player.
Jennifer, what are you trying to teach the kids today?
Today our focus was basically on sportsmanship and using sportsmanship or thinking about sportsmanship because it's kind of a forgotten issue in sports today, and we were using sportsmanship as under the umbrella of life skills that the kids need to learn, and that basketball is a way to learn a lot of the skills and sportsmanship that you'll use throughout your life all the time.
Kids are energizing, kids are wonderful, kids are innocent, and kids want to learn, and sometimes they need a little focus. But they're so full of energy and so they're so inquisitive that they're just a joy to be around.
Well, I just try to get involved, any way I can help the kids, because I understand it's a very good experience for the kids. They come in, they expect a lot out of the players. They expect to see the basketball players to show up. We did show up, and it was a positive experience.
What do you think the best part of the day was?
Well, the kids were very active, and they really liked it. So I'm going to go home tonight, and I'm going to be happy because I made some kids happy.
Did you see any maybe potential players next couple of years?
I think everybody, a potential player for the next 2-3 years or whatever. But they just have to keep working on whatever they learned today.
So how did the children enjoy the clinic?
What do you enjoy most about today?
Right now when we're on the field, I got to goof around.
What do you think you learned today?
Basically shooting, defensive skills, and life skills, how to treat your body and stuff, to help you out in the long run.
And we learned the fundamentals that I learned, I'm brushing up on my skills, so I'll be a better basketball player for my team in school.
Do you hope to one day play for the Red Storm?
Of course.
As you can see, the Yes Clinic has been a tremendous success for kids of all ages. For Eye of the Storm, I'm Nicole Soto.
I'm Connie Che, and I'm being profiled for this week's Student Spotlight. I started playing volleyball when I was in 8th grade. I like playing sports, so just when I was in junior high I was playing all kinds of sports, but I really got into volleyball like in high school when I tried out for the volleyball team and just things got really competitive. To play in college, it's a real honor because not many people in high school go on to college to play any sport. Our volleyball team is it's just grown so much compared to last year because, the year before I even came, because that was their first year. People were inexperienced in everything, and so it was hard for them to just stick together, I guess. And there's just a big improvement between the 2 years. This is only the second year of our program, and we're already, winning games in the Big East Conference. Our team gets along really well, and we have a lot of teamwork, and I think that and just if you include that helps us win a lot of games, just our teamwork, and we communicate really well. Coach Smith, she's a really good coach. I could really relate to her because when she was in college, she played a setter, and that's the same position that I play. And so she's always giving me pointers on what I should do, what I should change, what I should look for. And so it helps a lot just because she has the same mentality as I do. There's a big difference between California volleyball and just playing volleyball here. In California, there are many dominant teams like volleyball college teams and everything, and so when I was playing in California, it was much more competitive than it is here. And just the change from, you know, living in California and now living here, it's not that big of a change, but just it's kind of like the weather. The weather now, it's like April and it's still snowing and everything, and there's not much of a difference, but just the competition's different and just the surroundings kind of different too. But I mean, all in all, it's not that big of a change for me. Being a pharmacy student here and playing volleyball, it's kind of tough because you have to kind of maximize your time. You have so many, you have like practice. When I'm in season, you have practice like every day after classes and everything. And yeah, even during the off season, we still have to work out for volleyball. And I still have like this workload from pharmacy, like the courses that we have to take in pharmacy. So it's kind of tough, but it keeps me on track because I can't be lazy. If I am, then I'll fall behind and I'll do bad, like in volleyball and in my classes. So I have to make sure that I manage my time. It's true that men's sports get more publicity than, but I really have no complaints just because, like for volleyball, we've only been around for like 2 years. So I don't expect anyone to just really recognize us that much as a powerhouse or anything. And I guess the reason why the men's, like basketball or other sports, have so much more publicity is just because they've had famous people or just really good players come from their programs. And so I guess it's like granted that they would be more famous or more like well-known and everything. I think it's just a matter of time, and just it takes time for good programs to get established. And so once that happens, I'm sure we'll get some publicity. Our team has a lot of potential right now. I can only see us just improving and getting better. Our conference is kind of tough, and so it'd be nice to see us win the conference, and that would just automatically get us into the NCAA tournament. As a pharmacy major, I intend to stay here at St. John's for 4 more years, and all the while playing volleyball for the next 3 years. And just after I graduate, I just hope to get my license here in New York, and also to go back home, California, and get a license there and practice pharmacy there. There's always the option of going back to like graduate school or something and getting like a doctorate degree or something, but mainly I'm just thinking after college just to go back home to California and get a job and work there.
Over 125 years ago, St. John's University has become one of the country's most respected Catholic universities. Located in Brooklyn, the Ascensions wanted a university that was dedicated to helping the less fortunate. Today, through various ways, St. John's has continued to achieve these goals. I had the opportunity to speak with Sister Margaret John Kelly, someone who's very dedicated to St. John's. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What does your job as special assistant entail?
Well, it really involves working with various components of the university, assisting, as just the title indicates, in public relations areas, in educational academic areas, and in many things. It would be hard to describe a typical day because it's whatever the president would like to have done. But specifically, it's academic.
How does the university work towards its mission?
Well, I happen to bring this along. St. John's mission statement actually is posted, as you know, throughout the university. It was approved by the Board of Trustees back in 1991. And it's very neat, crisp, and tidy because it puts out immediately we are a university with all that means in terms of research, in terms of quality education, in terms of professional preparation, core curriculum, essential competencies, but it also qualifies the university as Catholic, Vincentian, and Metropolitan. And those 3 elements are integral to what St. John's University is, and perhaps they're what distinguishes it as well from the other universities.
And how does the university work towards the mission?
Well, I think when we say university, the entire university works towards it, because to achieve the mission is the responsibility of everyone. All staff members, all faculty, all administrators, all students, because we assume that the students choose St. John's because they see the particular mission and they want to buy into it. The university also has some core values that really are the values that we hope will characterize all the students and their professional work
And how does the Vincentian spirit affect St. John's and its community?
Well, let me first say what Vincentian is, because it may not be as clear to some of the viewers. Vincentian actually goes back to St. Vincent de Paul, the 17th century France. And he was marked by his very deep concern for opportunity and concern for the poor. So as a Vincentian university, we hope the students will have a deeper sense of what the poor, what it means to serve the poor and to be compassionate toward the poor. I think you probably realize that St. John's was founded in 1870 for the children of immigrants who were not welcome in many institutions in New York. So even its foundation was to give opportunity to those who were at the margin rather than focusing on those in the center. Now, many of our students are from the center and from the margins, and that brings together groups that need to talk together and relate together.
How important is the Catholic Church to the university and vice versa?
I think it's important because the university has the opportunity to continue the culture which the church has developed and has preserved. There also is a specific view that I think the Catholic identity and the Vincentian character of the university brings to bear on issues.
What contributions do the students make to the St. John's community?
The students are the St. John's community. So the university exists for the students. And although sometimes students may question that, that is reality, that we do exist for the students. Students, I think, make their most vital contribution in establishing community.
And finally, how can the students get in touch with you?
Well, I said I'm at the Vincentian Center for Church and Society, which is on the 3rd floor of Newman Hall at 311, and I'm there every day, 8:30 to 4:30, and I'd be very happy to meet the students.
Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
And I hope to come back and join us again. I think that this interview has given us an insight to the university. For Eye of the Storm, I'm Josephine Guzzo.
Hey Janine, I think we should go over the Neoplatonist views of Plotinus.
Stop, I can't take this anymore. Tell you the truth, I have to tell you, I hate studying with people. It makes me a little bit too nervous.
I'm sorry, Janine. Well, the one man who isn't the least bit nervous about his new position is Fran Fischilla, the new men's basketball coach.
To tell us about that and all the other SJU sports is Joe Rivera. Joe?
When athletic director Ed Mineta asked Brian Mahoney to step down as basketball coach, he said that the university was looking to the future. Well, the future is now, and St. John's got their man, Brooklyn native Fran Fischilla, who led the Manhattan Jaspers to an overall record of 85-35 in 4 years there, takes over the reins as the new head coach. Our SportsWire's George Pisanti attended a press conference as Fischilla was introduced to the St. John's community.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very special day here at St. John's University. I am very pleased to announce that as of today, Fran Fischilla is joining the St. John's family as our head men's basketball coach. This is an exciting time, a very, very special time for all of us. And now it is my pleasure, my extreme pleasure, to introduce to you the new head basketball coach at St. John's University, Mr. Fran Fischilla.
Let me thank Ed Mineta, Father Harrington, Coach Carnesecca, the St. John's community for allowing me to be part of their family, their great tradition here, the 125 years of St. John's University, and also the great, great basketball tradition. To be here today as a New Yorker, as a kid from Brooklyn is just a great thrill, and I really appreciate them for giving me this opportunity. But to get this opportunity today is obviously one that I'm excited about, I'm proud about, and I'm very conscious of what St. John's means to not only the students here, the faculty, the alumni, but also all the, what I would call subway alumni. I have a tremendous opportunity and I think obligation to uphold the great tradition of St. John's both on and off the court.
What do you think Fran's attributes are and what he'll bring to the program here?
Honestly, you look, he's done great jobs up in Manhattan. 4 years, 4 tournaments. The kids played hard, so there's an awful lot there. So we hope we'll take those things and bring it on with our guys.
What do you think the coach is going to bring to the campus? I know you want the fans more involved, and it happened a little last year.
I think you're going to find a person who has enthusiasm,
a person who is going to really bring everybody into the process, who's going to be visible on campus, who's going to relate to the students real well, and the faculty and the staff and administration. And I think a person who is, in my opinion, is really going to lead us well into the next century.
Fran is ready to start working and really get to know everybody on campus, and I'm sure everybody will get to know him, as well as our two little boys who will be dribbling basketballs around this campus for the next few years.
Fran Fraschilla has been named the 15th coach here at St. John's University. What he plans to do is bring in some recruits from New York City, and he hopes to bring that winning tradition from Manhattan across the river here to Queens. For Eye of the Storm, I'm George Pasanti.
On the subject of new coaches here at St. John's, Ed Blankmeyer has the baseball team playing extremely well. The whole team seems to be playing with confidence, as the team has opened some eyes in the Big East. SportsWire's George Pasanti has the story of the latest challenge for Blankmeyer's bunch.
Hello, I'm George Pasanti, welcoming you to a sun-drenched Father McAllen Field, where today, the 16-9 Red Storm battle local rival Manhattan. It was all Red Storm in this one as they trailed 2-0 early, but then the bat started going. Here, John Aramento smacks a 2-run double for RBIs number 14 and 15 on the season, evening the score at 2. There would still be more to come as William Dinkelacke ropes a ribby double to the gap in right center. The same was also true for red-hot hitter Mike Johnson, who not only hits 1, but 2 big RBI doubles, this one nearly clearing the wall at Father McAllen Field, as Johnson and St. John's continues to roll through the season as they trample all over Manhattan 19-7. The win ups the Red Storm's record to an impressive 17-9.
It's been a great year for St. John's athletics. As the school year winds down, it's time to look back and reflect. Let's go back and take a quick look on the year that was, Part 1.
Y'all ready for this?
You can see the conclusion of the year in review on the next SJU Sports Wire. Checking the news and notes board. St. John's softball team won their 3rd game of the season as they beat Fairfield 6-5 in extra innings. Melissa Valencia went the distance in the win, but their overall record stands at 3-24. Meanwhile, the Red Storm's men's tennis team defeated Rutgers 6-1 to increase their record to 11-4, including 5-1 in the Big East. Captain Dan Andriamo put forth a strong effort in the win. That's it for the SJU Sports Wire. Stay tuned to the SJU News with Mark Evans.
The Continuing Education Pharmacy Program will sponsor its 38th Annual Pharmacy Congress. The theme of the day is Managed Care. It will be held on Wednesday, May 1st from 8:30 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. at the Immaculate Conception Center in Douglaston, New York. This event is being sponsored by the College of Pharmacy and Allied Health Professions and the Metropolitan College. The Chapel Players will be performing the musical comedy Some Like It Hot from April 19th to the 21st and from the 26th to the 28th. They are offering an opening night special of 2 tickets for the price of 1 for all university employees. Tickets for this special rate must be purchased in advance at the UC ticket window or by calling 990-1422. Well, that's it for the SJU News. Until next time, I'm Mark Evans.
From the home of the Heisman, the Downtown Athletic Club, where tonight, St. John's University, for the first time in their history, will hold their Hall of Fame induction dinner here. St. John's University inducted 6 new members into their Athletic Hall of Fame. New coach Fran Fraschilla provided the opening remarks.
I do want to tell you that the last 5 days, it feels like I've been at St. John's for 2 months already. So much has happened, and the thing that just hits home to me is just the feeling that I get being part of St. John's. The first 24 hours after Monday's press conference, was a whirlwind for me.
Dave Sims of WCBS TV was introduced as the guest MC.
Members of the St. John's Hall of Fame, other members of the dais, friends, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to be here. This is great. This is wonderful.
First honoree was former football player Bill Samilla.
With the friends that I have back here that showed up, and the honors that I've made in my career at St. John's are the things that I remember the most.
Next, the honoree was former swimming coach Richard Krempecki.
I'm not a graduate of St. John's, though you can imagine how much this means to me. I'd like to thank the committee and thank the university for the opportunity to coach and work here.
Doug LaTrenta, all-time hit leader in St. John's baseball, was next in line.
The university has always been good. Father Harrington and Ed, and I did know Ed 18 years ago, and I thank you very much.
SJU women's tennis star Barbara Perry also received the honor.
I thank my mother, who taught me the game of tennis, who chauffeured me to countless tennis matches, and to this day she remains my tennis partner, among other things.
Basketball star David Russell was honored next.
I'd like to thank Coach Carnesecca for giving me this award. It's been a long time. I'd also like to thank Ron Rutledge for being here, my family, my special friend, and my mother. Has always been behind me.
The late Bill Esposito's son accepted the honor in his behalf.
Over the years, our family has always taken great pride in being associated with and being part of the St. John's community. This evening, you honored my father in a way that none of us could ever have anticipated.
Afterwards, I caught up with the many people involved in the ceremony. Father, what does this night do for the school spirit of St. John's?
I think one of the things it does is that it helps us to think back on what made us what we are. We look back at the history of the institution, we see the people who played a special role, and we celebrate that.
Honestly,
I think it's really one of the great plays we ever had here at St. John's. But not only was he a great player, great person, and we're so proud of him.
Well, I just like to thank Coach Carnesecca and Ron Rutledge for being here. And if I had to do it all over again, it would definitely be St. John's University. They're good people. It's not just coaches, but they're good friends.
Mr. Manetta, what do you think a night like tonight can do for the morale of the St. John's athletic program?
Well, I think this is the great things about St. John's. This is what makes it so wonderful. We have the past, some great history here, former winners, our new inductees, and we talk about the future.
Following in such a great tradition like St. John's with Lou Carnesecca, Joe Lapchek, etc., how does it feel to be standing on the same exact spot where those past coaches did?
You know, it really hasn't hit me yet because there's so many things I got to get done. I haven't coached a game yet, but when you stop and think about it every now and then when I'm driving, I think, man, I'm coaching at St. John's. Like I said earlier, it's kind of overwhelming.
Well, that's enough studying for me. I'm going to need a miracle to pass this test.
Don't fret, Janine. Come on, tell me something.
Okay, I'll try. Well, Plato's two-world theory is composed of the world of forms and the world of material objects.
Wow, Janine, I'm impressed. You really know your stuff.
Yeah, I guess so. Thank you.
Well, that's it for this finals edition of Eye of the Storm.
Speaking of finals, we now have to take one. Wish us luck.
Good night.